Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. I hope you guys are doing well out there, enjoying your Monday. All right, for those of y'all who are just starting to wake up and all that, we got some big news, some big information that's out here, y'all. And for a lot of us, for a lot of y'all, you'd be really happy. And a lot of us are probably sitting here going, not surprised at all. This was the inevitable. This was coming. Okay? This was going to happen, y'all. Let's be real. We knew that this ish was going to go down. And I know some of us are going, oh, this is very telling. But is it though? That's the question I have. That is the question I have lingering in my mind like you wouldn't believe. Because we don't know, or at least I don't know. These are the questions I like to ask, or I would love to be able to throw out to somebody who is, in the game of law, knows their law and all that stuff. Because there's some very questionable things that just recently happened. It's breaking. Obviously, the people have already started talking about this. All the other commentators have talked about this. So this is breaking as we speak. And a lot of us are saying, is it Christmas? Is it Christmas? Because I know a lot of people are very excited about this news. Real talk. Either very happy or very, very upset and not excited about this news at all. Because it could mean something else. It could say something else. Right? But anyway, before we get into everything, you see the title down below, so I don't really need to say it, but I'm going to say it because it feels good coming out my mouth, okay? Elaine has been fired, or she steps down. I think she got fired. She stepped down. She got fired and is no longer representing AH in her appeal. So, some big news. Like I said, I felt this was coming. We're going to take a little bit of a trip down memory Elaine. Get what I did there? Okay. We're going to take a little trip down memory lane, all dad jokes aside. Take a look at some stuff. One of her interviews that she had right after the loss. We're going to look at her closing arguments as well. We're just going to look. Because there's a lot of things, there's breadcrumbs that lead to this ultimate moment. All right? There are things that have led up to this ultimate moment. Let's be real. Okay? So, but of course, we got to go to the ultimate moment. Okay? So please do me a favor. I know everybody's like, is it? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. You know what I mean? And school, for a lot of us, school just started. Today's the first day of school for a lot of kids. Damn. By the way, okay? It's crazy. Crazy. Summer's officially over. So hopefully your kids are doing good. Hopefully you guys didn't cry too hard or celebrate too hard when you let your kids go back to school and you dropped them off to school today. All right. But anyway, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. All right. Send it past 200 likes. I see a bunch of you guys starting to file in. Appreciate you guys coming in and being a part of the conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every corner of the world. Okay. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All right. Be a part of the chaos, which is the Pascal Show. And let's get into some things, shall we? Wow. There's so many things to say. There's so many things to talk about. And there's so many things that are popping off around the world outside of just this story. But we have been talking about this story, this case, these cases for months now. And I haven't talked about anything related to this in a while. And because there really wasn't anything big popping off, in my personal opinion. Nothing enough for it to be big headlining content and talking about it every day. But then this morning when I woke up and I opened up Twitter and, I open up Twitter and I get the news. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? All right, I most definitely got to check this out. I mean, I saw something else that was totally throwing me off, which I will talk about randomly in our conversation today. But I woke up, I opened up Twitter, I'm doing my thing, drinking my coffee, just getting ready for the day, nice fresh cup of coffee. And then I see this tweet. Breaking. Elaine is stepping down from representing AH during the appeal against JD. Ben Rottenborn will continue to rep AH. Now coming onto the team is David L. Axelrod and J. Ward Brown of Ballard Spar. Wow. So I saw that this morning and I said, what? Now, let me just say this though, too. I mean, I knew this was going to happen. I mean, we all knew this was inevitably going to happen, right? That she was going to have to be either step down or get fired. No one would keep that kind of representation on their team, or at least as their lead attorney, right? Right? Now, because you got to look at her, you got to look at the track record and her performance in the trial. At least in my personal opinion, I think her performance was trash. And I think that is popular opinion here, right? I'm not saying unpopular opinion being like, oh, I'm so scared. Unpopular opinion, guys, but she sucked. I don't think everybody's sitting here going, no, she was an angel. No, everyone, is on the same side as me. It's like her performance was trash, was bad. Don't worry, we're going to go back. We're going to take a look at some of this stuff. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. Okay? See what I'm saying there? It's kind of fun. I need to turn that into something. I mean, we're not going to see her anymore, so it's not like I could turn that into a segment. You know what I mean? Now we're taking a trip down memory lane. So it's a one-time and one-time only thing today. But I see people. Yep. Debbie. Yes, Debbie. Elaine was comedy gold. Yeah. All right. Very, very, very bad. But I saw this morning and that threw me off. Okay. I was just like, wow, that is some news. That is some news. I knew it was inevitably going to happen personally, deep down in my marrow. Okay. I felt that this was going to happen. I just didn't expect it to happen today. Like I said, to me, I was like, is it Christmas? Thank you. Thank you. But we got some articles we got to get into. We got to take a look at some of this stuff. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of different articles. So we're going to take snippets from each one. And then, of course, take a little trip down memory lane. Let's go. I'm having too much fun with that. Sorry. Let's continue. All right. So here it is. Amber Heard hires new legal team. Elaine stepping down. To me, that is a very nice way of saying she got her ass canned. She got kicked to the curb. Her work was not good enough, and they said bye-bye. Actually, I will say this before we go into this article, okay? And I'll let the title be up here so it can burn into y'all brain matter. But I think actually, and I know some people might disagree with me on this, and I'm not on her side or on her team, but as far as moves go, I think those are the best moves she could have done. Elaine was trash. It was a train wreck. Would you want that person to continue to represent you if you're trying to take home the W? outside of whose team, whose side you are on. Just think about it. Okay, before you guys think like jump down my throat and send me salacious emails saying how dare you. Hold up. Hold up. All I'm saying is if you were someone who is trying to win and the lawyer you had made you lose in a very disturbing way. I'm sorry. It was this disturbing loss. All right. It was an embarrassing loss. Would you let that same person be the head of your team when you're going for an appeal, trying to win that W? I'll just say that really quick. Okay? I will say that really, really quick. Oh, it's Kim. What's up, girl? How you doing? I 100% agree. Not a fan of Amber, but Elaine failed representing her client over and over again. Rottenborn out lawyered her. See that right there? That's a smart woman right there. Okay? That is a smart woman right there. Just saying. All right. Oh, by the way, hey, it's Kim. If you got time, you want to hop on and say hi, you're more than welcome to. But y'all need to go follow this girl right here. Okay. She's part of the Popcorn Planet family. All right. Or the Planeteers, something like that. I don't mean to mess anything up, but you know what I'm saying. Very, very talented woman right there. Please go check out her YouTube channel. Right. It's Kim, literally spelled just like that. Go follow her. She's got some great content. And like I said, we have to play it smart. We got to look at this situation outside of our bias, outside of what our thoughts are and how we feel about certain things. I don't like Elaine. I think she sucks. And I thought she was trash. And I don't like AH. And I think she's trash too. But at the same time, in the game of law, outside of that, outside of our personal opinions, would you want her representing you again? No. And so when I look at that, I go, that was a smart move. It's big. It's a big moment for all of us because we look at it and go, wow, she's even admitting that Elaine done mucked that up. Okay. Clearly. Okay. But obviously, it is the right move, in my personal opinion. Okay. Yes, I do know. Hold on one second. Ashley. I see Ashley Oaks. Ah, okay. Well then, oh well, thanks. So you're right now putting on foundation right now as we speak. It's Kim. You're putting the mascara on and you're trying not to laugh at the same time. And then is your mouth open like while you're doing it? Because why does everybody do that? You know what I'm saying? Why do girls do that? And guys, whenever we're putting our contacts in, you don't do the open your mouth thing while you're putting your contacts in. You know what I'm saying? Just a random thought. Okay. Left turn there. But yes, it's Kim next time. Love to have you on the show. Be great to have you on the show to chop it up for real. She said, "Yep, pretty much. Yeah, that's how the game goes." So Ashley Oaks, yes, I do know it's Andy's birthday. I'll say it here. Happy birthday, Andy. Okay. Hopefully that's okay to say. Happy birthday, man. And yeah, I guess he's having a big hangout later on this afternoon. Hopefully I'll be able to swing through and share my love over there and have a great time with them. So it's Kim. Debbie's wondering if it's Amica cream, just so you know, or Amica makeup. All right. So I guess this comment in the chat. But anyway, let's get back on to our story here, okay? And please do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button down below. Send it all the way up if you can. And hit that subscribe button. So if you were in her lane, with Amber, would you continue working with Elaine? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a poll. I already know what's gonna happen, but let me see. Say, do you agree with AH firing Elaine. There we go. And yeah, something simple. Just that. Boom. That's very, very simple. Okay. Boom. Do you agree with AH firing Elaine? Okay. Yes or no? It's pinned to the top of the chat. Go check it out if you can. That would be greatly appreciated. All right, love. Greatly appreciated. All right. So let's get into this, shall we? So let's go into this article because, of course, there's a lot to say here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of things. And of course, I want to go take a trip down memory Elaine here in a second. So Amber Heard has hired 2 new lawyers to lead her appeal to overturn the defamation suit she lost against ex-husband JD. Now, Elaine, who represented during the recent trial in Fairfax, Virginia, is stepping down and says as she said, it's the perfect time to pass the baton. You know, I feel like HR told her to write PR told her to write this ish. Okay. PR basically said, well, you don't want her to look bad. You don't want our client, because she's still a client within their law firm. So we don't want our client to we don't want to villainize our client. So let's just say it's a perfect time to pass the baton. That works. To pass it over to Rottenborn and Axelrod and all these other very interesting last names, right? So very interesting, right? Now, passing the baton, I just think that's very clinical, such a clinical response. I understand she's supposed to say those kind of things because that she's AH's people are still paying or still flipping a bill over at that law firm. But like I said, very interesting line to put out there from Elaine. So attorneys David Axelrod, J. Ward Brown of Ballard Spahr will represent AH in court. Ben Rottenborn, who also represented AH in the recent trial, will continue as co-counsel. So he's still part of the team. So I don't want to assume anything, but I'm thinking that possibly Axelrod and Brown of Ballard Spahr will be playing or working as lead. Okay? Will be pushing as the lead attorneys for this particular thing. When it comes to protecting the fundamental right of freedom of speech, we look at the jury's decision. To paraphrase a famous quote, not as the beginning of the end, but merely the end of the beginning, a spokesperson speaking on behalf of AH said. Of course, we all know the infamous photos inside of that trial. A different court warrants different representation, particularly as so much new evidence is now coming to light, they added. Now the one thing I question, all right, when they say a different court warrants different representation, okay, that's fine. All right, that's cool. Whatever. Pfft, great excuse for saying, Elaine dropped the ball. Elaine and her team, sorry, because it's not only just Elaine, it's her entire team, dropped the ball. The only person that really came out strong in that whole trial on Team AH's side was Rottenborn. So it makes sense that Rottenborn is sticking around. In fact, I've even said it before, and I'll say it again. His part of the closing arguments were pretty damn solid. I mean, in comparison to what we saw with Elaine. Elaine was like birdshot. She was everywhere. She was all over the place, right? He was very precise. He had he was posing a strong argument. It was a strong argument, even though I am not on the team AH side. But I will say he stood out. But it's easy to stand out when you know what I'm saying? When your follow-up, when your closer is just sounding like a high school gossip girl when she's talking about what had the whole trial, stumbling all over her words, trying to find words, looking frantic, frazzled. It was just crazy. So it's kind of easy to knock somebody out the park like that when the person who follows up is just gone. It's funny because the way I looked at it is like going to a karaoke bar, and let's just say you're a decent singer, just decent. You know what I mean? And the person that goes up after you, like, you got that one song you're good at, Sweet Caroline. Everyone's like, oh my God, everyone's having a great time, right? And then the person right after you goes up and just bombs. Everybody in the bar is going to be like, wow, you were incredible, man. Why? Because you're comparing someone who's meh to someone who's trash. Easy to stand out. Easy to stand out, just so you know. Okay? Guys, if you really want to stand out, just learn Sweet Caroline, okay? And just stay in tune. You'll be fine. Okay? Just saying. It's like karaoke. Just saying. And I'm a karaoke fan, all right? So, I got my staple songs too, okay? I got my staple songs. All right? So, moving on. The new evidence brought to light could be the recently released unreleased documents. This is exactly what I was going to say here, which revealed multiple key details and events previously kept under wraps in the recent defamation lawsuit. Now, this is what I found very, very interesting, because they did say, once we get past all this advertisement crap, said a different court warrants different representation, particularly as so much new evidence is now coming to light. Now, the thing is when you look at that, you go, hey, does that have to do with the unsealed documents? Now, my question, which I like to throw out to all my legal people out there, my intelligent individuals, my question to y'all is, the evidence that was unsealed in those documents, right, that just recently came out, everybody and their mama, including myself, did a lot of coverage, or did some coverage on the new evidence that was in those unsealed documents. Can they still use those in court? That's the question I have for any person that's out here that's, an esquire or someone who just dabbles in law, right? Any law nerds out there, let me know. There's nothing wrong with being a law nerd. Stand in solidarity. But the question I have still is, can they use this evidence? Can they use this all this unsealed evidence in the next trial, or will it also be knocked down? Because just because it's out there, right? Just because that stuff is out there doesn't mean, right? Doesn't mean that they can just take it in and go, oh, Exhibit A, Exhibit B, you know what I mean? Can they? That's the question I have for all y'all, for those legals out there. Let me know. Like, comment, please. Somebody. Comment in the comment section. I'd like to know. Okay? And I do agree. Yakari, yes. does most definitely needs to move on, for sure. Okay? Let's see. Gene Woodhouse. What new evidence? That there's some that weren't brought in by There's just... If I wish I would... I check out my other videos, okay, about these unsealed documents. I just tapped on it a little bit because there was so much. There's other people out here that have dove into it, to literally putting emphasis on the right syllables and really dove in on the unsealed documents. So please check out my page. There's plenty of other people that have literally dove into that. Nate the lawyer, for example, did a deep dive into it as well. Legal Bites did a deep dive in it as well. I'm trying to think of who else. I know Popcorn Planet, they spoke on it for a little bit as well. There's a lot of channels that have just ripped it apart. Okay. So there's new evidence, there's new information out there that we have tried to talk about, confirm, debunk, blah, blah, blah. But these are all pieces of evidence. These are all things that were submitted that were denied by the judge that we had. Okay. So does it work? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Can they use this evidence? I'm sure they can resubmit it into whatever trial, into this appeal, into this trial. And then, of course, whoever the judge is going to be has the choice to go, hey, all right, let's let this one in. Let's not let this in. But to me, unsealed documents is just unsealed documents. It's up to the judge. Like I said, this is an uneducated guess, but I feel like it's still up to the judge to make the decision whether or not to bring that evidence into the next trial. That's just what I think. But I do agree. She needs to let this whole thing go, like that Frozen song. Okay, just let it go. All right. Let me get some super chats here really quick. I just saw a bunch of y'all showing some love and some support. So let me get into this really, really quick. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below. That'd be great. Send it past 300 likes real quick. A like doesn't cost a thing. Okay. Appreciate it. Dragonflies. Thank you so much for the 2. Elaine said she would pledge to yeah. AH ain't going to see that money at all. That's funny though. That was funny. Pendizzy, thank you so much for the 5 Canadian. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hold on, more coming. Jacqueline, thank you so much for the $2. Why is AH still trying? When is she going to stop? I can't answer that. I have no clue. I'm not in her brain. I wish I knew. I wish she would stop too. It's time to move on. You know what I'm saying? It's time to trek on. It's time to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. This is, to me, this is getting old. All right. And this is just, for me, I'm like, okay, what's done is done. The world has seen this trial. It was embarrassing for both of them. But it was victorious. The embarrassment turned to victory for JD. Just move on. You know what I'm saying? Let it be, man. Just let it be what it is. All right. That's just my personal opinion on that. Okay. Just my personal opinion on that. Okay. But we got some more information here, which I wanted to show you guys as well. Of course, she hires new lawyers in the verdict appeal. Now, they are a Philly firm bested. Okay, they helped Sarah Palin in her recent New York Times libel battle. Okay, she also was in something which was very interesting as well. So let's get into this. Okay, so not entirely unexpected, the move by the Aquaman starlet. Okay, shout out to that umbrella guy. To cut loose her main attorney. Elaine follows weeks of judicial jockeying by both the Rum Diary co-stars to have another kick at the courtroom can with notices of intended appeals, having seen ex-husband Depp awarded $10.4 million by a Virginia jury on June 1st. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Heard has now hired David L. Axelrod and J. Ward Brown to represent her in attempt to rescind the judgment. Ben Rottenborn, we already know this, will also co-counsel. Now, where is that piece that I know about? There we go. Now, this is what is interesting. We're confident to the appellate court will apply the law properly with difference to popularity, reverse the judgment against Miss AH, and reaffirm the fundamental principles of freedom of speech. This is what Axelrod and Brown said. I don't know how they said it both at the same time, but that's very interesting. Moving on, specializing in the freedom of speech clause in America's founding document, Axelrod and Brown served as counsel to the New York Times' successful battle against Sarah Palin's libel suit over a sloppy June 14th, 2017 editorial in the paper. In the quickly corrected article, the New York Times initially drew a link between the ex GOP VP candidate's political action committee and a 2011 mass. You see the word there. Okay, I'll just highlight it so you guys see that. That tragically saw 6 people unalived, and then Representative Gabby Giffords severely wounded, likely to be appealed. Masked Singer contestant. That's funny how that's what they her latest claim to fame is Masked Singer. But Masked Singer contestant Palin's legal action was unanimously rejected by a Empire State jury, and the judge overseeing the matter on February 15th. So she's hiring some fire, okay? But that doesn't mean anything. Still, in my personal opinion, that doesn't mean a damn thing. That doesn't change the result. And again, they're saying that they have new evidence, but I keep saying, okay, what new evidence? The stuff that they have from the unsealed documents? Then that's not, to me, that's not damning information, right? You have things that they submitted as evidence in hopes that they could use it as evidence, but the judge said, hail to the no. So it makes you wonder, what else is out there, if there is anything, that they're saying is new evidence? And then the other question you have to put out is, is it real? Is the evidence even real? Is the new evidence even bloody real? Let's keep it real, y'all. Is it? I think not. We already know about her history. We know about her history. So what other pieces of information that they have that would be damning for JD in this verdict appeal? Just saying. Let me look at some of your comments here really quick. Let's see. Penn Disney said maybe she has dirt and blackmail on these people after bringing young people to them. Perhaps supposedly, maybe. Maybe. To me, I don't know, and that's the thing. And Tyler, I don't know. I don't know how much how involved he is in this trial appeal. He may have said, I'm done. There's that very, very, very eye-opening expose that came out that I read this article, or at least half of this article that recently came out, with these unbelievable accusations about those two's lifestyle together, almost like a GMJE type of situation, which was just eye-opening and mind-blowing as well. So I hear now that both of them are working towards suing that journalist or the writer of that article, because they think it's, obviously they're saying that stuff is not true, and they're saying, oh, it's defamation, right? So I don't know. I don't know how deep her finger. I don't know how deep her hand goes into Rocket Man's pockets. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. I just don't know. But like I said, she's bringing in some dudes with fire. Okay. Okay. At least they got some power behind them. Okay. They won. They were part of the trial with Sarah Palin and helped her win that. Okay. Fine. All right. But I don't know. Actually, hold on. Let me see this really quick. We'll figure this out together. No, she didn't win. My bad. Wait, what? No, she did. No, she didn't win. My bad. Now, she didn't win. Okay, but they were a part of that particular trial. Okay? Yeah, let me just throw this up to make that a very, very clear. Yeah. So, Sarah Palin loses defamation lawsuit against the New York Times. Okay. But they do know about, going after, obviously they know their where they stand as far as freedom of speech. And of course they've done this argument or have had these arguments before and have had these trials before. Now, they didn't go home with the W on this, but at least they are someone or a law firm that have, you know what I mean? They have some experience in this. And the thing is that a new team, oops, where is it? A new team, all right, could mean for newer things. You see what I'm saying? For newer opportunities, for a newer approach, a stronger argument. They might see things different than what Elaine saw during the trial or during the preparation of this trial. You see what I'm saying? A different team, a different perspective. Also, you got to remember, all these guys sat down and watched this thing. They sat down and watched this whole thing. It's hard not to see this. Excuse me. It's hard not to see this. This was one of the biggest. This was one of the biggest defamation trials ever. Okay. Every lawyer was watching this. Every lawyer, or at least they were watching the highlights. And you know for a fact that those guys were watching this and seeing what was going on and seeing, oh man, that could have been done better. That could have been done better. Oh boy, they messed up there. They could have done this. They should have done that. Look at all the lawyers on YouTube right now that are killing it because of what they've done, which was incredibly intelligent, is sit down and go through this whole trial bit by bit, trying to explain to us laymen's, okay, to us average Joes, what things could have, what was right, what was wrong, what could have been better. What does this mean? What is this? What does this term mean? So on and so forth. You know what I mean? So, we are all smarter. We all came out smarter from this trial. Everybody watched this. Everyone. Okay. Even my mama was watching this, and she don't care about this kind of stuff, but she was watching it. So yes, it's, I wouldn't be surprised if those guys who have been watching this like crazy find out that there's more information. There's new evidence, or they're able to successfully get, slide some of this new evidence, whatever this new evidence is, whether it's in those unsealed documents or it's something that she just had in her back pocket. We don't know. But if they're able to bring that into court, then that might be a different, this might be a completely different game. but we don't know. You know, we do not know. I just saw somebody say something. Sorry, I was just reading some of you guys. See, that's the thing. Queen of Swords. How's she paying them? Yeah, she can't afford lawyers. That's why two insurance companies are suing her. She's going to blow what money she has, thinking that JD will take pity on her and waive payments. You know what? Excuse me. Queen of Swords, you ain't wrong with that. You are not wrong with that. I wouldn't be surprised, y'all. Would not be surprised if that's what she's holding on to. Or she's going, no, go ahead and do this thing because I got $15 million. I got a $15 million bidding war going on with my revenge book. Once this book is done, I'm walking out with 15 million right off the bat. And then, she's thinking this is going to sell like hotcakes, which it probably will. Let's keep it real. It probably will. She's going to kill with that. And then she'll have even more money. Then she'll probably get a movie deal. Then her book will turn into a movie, so on and so forth. Watch. Everybody's anticipating that book. I mean, personally, I'm not, but everybody's anticipating. A lot of people are anticipating that book. So she might be sitting there resting on that. Or maybe she does that Triple X movie. She was offered $10 million allegedly for doing something, degrading herself on film in some sort of way. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So there is money coming to her in some sort of way. And, last I heard, oh, wow. What up, that umbrella guy? Oh, wow, man. It's an honor to have you on here, man. Wow. What's up, Tug? Yo, if you got time to hop on, love to hear your voice on the show. Love to hear your thoughts on this information too, man. Wow. You're watching this show. That's what's up, man. What's up, Tug? Say what's up, Tug, Tug, say what's up to everybody. And everybody say what's up to Tug. He's in the house. And yeah, she'll probably get sued. Yeah, she probably will get sued for the book. I do agree with that. But she still will get that bag, though. Right? At least that's what I think. All right. But thank you so much for hopping on, man. Very, very cool. Not every day that you get that umbrella guy coming onto your show. That's dope. That's what's up. But if you're interested in hopping on, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. We'd love to hear your voice on this show. Real talk. But you know what? If that is the case, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Yes, she'll most likely get sued. Oh, bet. Okay, so if you I think I send you, because I follow you, Tug. I follow you on Twitter. Can I send something to you on Twitter? Let me try. Oh, that's dope. That's dope, man. I guess I can. Bet. All right. I will I'm gonna send you a link right now, man. Just so you know. Wow. That umbrella guy in the house. And so my Twitter handle is the Pascal Show. It's very simple. So I'm gonna read because I hit you up a while ago, long time ago. But maybe you'll be able to find it. So I'll send it right now. This is just my StreamYard link. Check it out. Love to hear your thoughts on this because I know you are extremely well versed in this particular situation. So having you on to chop it up about this would be dope as hell. So check it out. It's up there. Hop on if you can. So while he looks for it and all that, all right. Oh, wow. CM Focus Productions. Wow. Thank you. Said you're watching this show. I don't think you realize how good your show is, and that's refreshing. I respect the other channels, but yours is the one I enjoy the most. Wow. Thank you, CM Focus Productions. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very, very, very much. Joe Choi. Hold on. I see y'all. I see you out here. Yes, I did send him a link. I sent him a link on Twitter, but like I said, he may be like he doesn't follow me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying he should, but I'm just saying he doesn't follow me, so it might be buried, but it might be at the top of his messages. I don't know how Twitter messages work. You feel me? Especially he's got a lot of followers on Twitter. I ain't got nothing. So, in comparison to him, of course. Oh, okay. Bet he's getting his stuff together. He'll be on in a second. Dope. Let me just respond back to him really quick. Wow. It is Christmas today. Wow. It's Andy's birthday over at Popcorn Planet. And Elaine got fired. And we're about to get that umbrella guy live on the show. It is Christmas. It is Christmas. Hell yeah. Couple days before my dad's birthday. May he rest in peace. All right. So all good things. Hail to the yeah. You know, yeah, Andrea, you know what I mean? Tug is smart. Tug is wicked smart. Wicked smart. All right. So I'm excited to have him on. That's going to be dope. Natash Ski, thank you so much. I subscribed Pascal's breakdown after Pascal's breakdown of the sex parties article. He said exactly what I was thinking, and he brought a little comedy relief. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. You know, at least I try to, right? But of course, obviously, trying to get you guys to learn you some things. You know, come back and be happy about life and be better with your life. You know what I'm saying? We got that umbrella guy in the house. What's up, man?
Hey there, man. How's it going, dude?
Wow, this is crazy, bruh. Like, let me just say this really quick. First off, thank you so much for the dedication to this trial, to the dedication to this whole, to all of it, right? And persevering through it too. I just got to give you mad props where it's due, because a lot of people would have folded during times of adversity, and you just keep pushing through. And I got to tell you, man, your integrity, your perseverance, it's incredible. It's hands down phenomenal. So I just wanted to let you know about that, man. Real talk.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, these subjects are real. A lot of people just see them as, hey, man, look at this Hollywood court trial, but it's so much bigger than that. And, you know, I mean, and you can tell that too. You can tell that from the media reaction, and you can tell it from all of the surrounding reactions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but it's funny because, you know, mainstream media, it seems like it's slowly but surely starting to spin back around, right? Slowly though. But because you still have people out here losing their minds, attacking even smaller YouTube channels, etc., just about this, about AH of all people. It's absolutely insane. But I got to ask you, man. I mean, what are your thoughts on this whole new change? You know, they're shifting powers of lead attorneys and all that. She's stepping down entirely. What do you think? What do you think about this?
Well, I'm not really surprised by she's, you know, shifted lawyers before, and she blames them anytime something's going wrong. She's done that every time she lost trying to get the case kicked. She would change out legal teams, and you could tell in the courtroom she blamed Elaine for a lot of stuff that went on. So I fully expected something to happen with Elaine. I didn't expect it to be so bold face. When you look at this, they keep on Rottenborn, which I actually agree with the decision. I think Elaine was a weak link, but the way they did it, they're blaming her. You know, they're blaming her for a loss.
She's taken a huge L for the entire thing. But that's what's interesting. Just like rats on a sinking ship, right? they will do everything they can to find any excuse. Like as things start to fall apart, she is literally going, okay, it's juror 15. No, it's juror 9. No, it's this, and this. And now it's Elaine. Now it's Elaine's fault, right? And I gotta be honest. I agree with her move. If I
Oh yeah,
was to move on and if I wanted to go home with the W, outside of everything, outside of opinions of this, outside of bias, if I wanted to go home with the W or redeem myself after such an such an embarrassment, I'm going to fire my lead attorney, especially if the lead attorney was dropping the ball. And she most definitely did. Right. And I feel like instead of her putting all that focus on juror 15 or, X, Y, and Z, she should have been looking inward
yeah,
and actually looking at the representation that she had. What's
for
your
sure.
thoughts?
You know what I think is funny about this when you look at the team now. So you have Ben Rottenborn and Ballard Spar. So you have Rottenborn and BS. What a team name!
Right? Yeah, that's
Uh,
great. Oh,
yeah. I was looking at that this morning. I was like, well, that's really funny. But no, I mean, I agree. Like Elaine was definitely the weak link. You know, we made fun of her the entire trial because
yep.
it was insane. And before that, I would watch her make statements to the media, and you could see in written form everything that you saw in the courtroom. I mean, I don't know why you would have kept her on to begin with. I don't know why she thought Elaine would have been competent to begin with. Maybe she stroked her ego the right way. I do think though that Elaine was her PR team after the trial. She did all this work. She was her attack dog. She went after judge, jury, us, any of us that were
Right.
speaking. And look what she got. She got kicked to the curb. Yes, it's the right decision, but it was ugly the way they did it for sure.
Yeah, it's ugly. I will say that. Now one thing I want to point this out really quick, since you're here. It's nice to have other people who have been, deep diving, especially you're like a freaking PhD in this situation. Real talk. So thank you so much for being here to chop it up with me about this. But there's one comment that the I guess BS, the Rottenborn BS team just recently said, and they said in a different court warrants a different representation. And this is the last half that I found very interesting, particularly as so much new evidence is coming to light. Now, I'm curious, do you think when they say new evidence, are they referring to the unsealed documents, or do they honestly really think they have new evidence out here that we've never seen?
No, there's no new evidence. They're talking unsealed documents. We've seen everything they presented. I've I've talked to dozens and dozens of people on her side too. I've talked to you'd be surprised who will talk to you as long as you don't burn them. And there's nothing else. I mean, she has burned every bridge, getting what she had. Between the UK and between this, we've seen everything they have to present. Now they're going to try to make certain things sound more salacious than they are. With the unsealed documents, you saw that they're going to present it. What I think they're doing really is I think they're fighting in the court of public opinion. That's where that statement is aimed. That statement isn't necessarily a courtroom statement. It's a statement to try to win back because at the end of the day, even if she wins in a courtroom, which I don't think she has a chance, but if she did, just say she still lost the public. I mean, where do you go from there?
Right. Yeah, that is the question. What's what's the next move? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. So then she has new representation, right? She got rid of Elaine, thank God. Which like I said, we both agree was a good move.
Yeah. Now I appreciate Elaine though. She did blow my channel up, so thank you, Elaine.
She
I would
gave
send her a gift basket if she wouldn't call it harassment.
no, right, with nice little chocolates. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, the train is nice, right? That the love train is nice when it's good to you.
Yep.
But what do you think is their next move then? What are you predicting? After this new representation, she's got new representation. They're saying, there's new evidence, which could be, it's fleeting, that phrase. It could be anything fake and doctored, in my personal opinion. But What's the next move, you think?
Well, I mean, it's trying to rewrite this thing. Really, I don't think they truly think that they're going to win in court. I mean, just from from what I've heard from sourcing around them, I don't really. They can hype it, but what they're trying to do is hype it again in the court of public opinion. They want that because at the end of the day, she's done unless they rewrite this. This is if you look at this thing like a chapter, like chapters in the book, this isn't the appeal chapter. This is more of the vindictive chapter. This is paying back everyone that she sees for a loss. That's including JD, but it goes all the way down the line, to us and everyone else.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where they're at. I do think that the tell-all book that's real. I talked to some sources in publishing, and it was definitely being shopped around. Now I could not confirm that total that was being shopped, $15 million. But yes, the
Right.
tell-all book, yes, she's shopping it for real.
Wow.
That is indeed legit. I don't know if anybody actually picked it up, but there is a lot of interest in it.
I mean, well, there's a lot of course, there's a lot of interest in it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people with very deep pockets, that are very connected with her, that maybe she has allegedly bamboozled or finessed.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them are sitting there going, oh, I really don't want to see that book come out and see the light of day.
Right.
So I could see that happening as well, because with that article that recently came out, obviously.
Ooh, man. House and Habit took a hit for that article too. Woo, man.
What kind of hit? What do you mean by
Oh,
hit?
she's been tired. Like if you look at her Instagram, first of all, once she went after David Shane, the first step after David Shane, she got shut down repeatedly, and it took. I have to be very careful in saying this because I don't know how much is supposed to be there, but it took some people with positions of power to get her reinstated. It took a lot, and they just kept shutting her down. After that article, it got situated in calm, but after that article dropped, somebody powerful, bam, they shut her down, and they keep hitting her. It's you can tell somebody's flexing there.
Wow. Okay, so when you say shut her down, what, her Instagram page got deleted, something like that, or what? Or
Yeah, they shut
website got shut down or something, or
yeah, they hit her. Her Instagram has almost 1 million followers. First of all,
Yeah.
I mean it's huge, but yeah, they locked her out of it. They kept locking her out of it. I mean, it's like I said, you could tell this was intentional, and it went beyond flagging bots because again, talking to the people that like I said, I'm being vague about this, but
Yeah,
I
please.
know how she had to get reinstated, and it took people, like I said, it took some real people with some real pull to do
Wow.
that. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's insane. But that's the problem with. I'm sorry for going off track here or off subject, but that's the problem with a lot of other creators and stuff. All these other creators that are starting to speak out against against this whole situation. Some people are getting their channels shut down,
Yep.
pages blocked, so on and so forth. It's scary that this is the world that we live in. You know what I mean? And how have you been dealing with all this backlash? And I mean, you've been getting a lot of praise and love, of course, but the opposite. How you been handling with it and being able to
Man,
dodge everything?
I live in it, dude. It's not bad. I mean, really, because I've adjusted to it. It's strange to say that it is, but you get to this point where you just stop caring. You know what they're going to do. You take all the precautions you can. Like we have a lawyer on retainer for the CPS attacks because they weaponize CPS. They want to send Child Protective Services to come take our kids. So
What?
we retain a lawyer. Yeah. That was they bragged openly about it. Hey,
Whoa.
we're calling CPS. So I mean, that was their first move when they did this stuff. Not
Oh,
they escalated. Yeah, but
I'm
police
sorry.
calls. Oh man, it is what it is, But it's crazy to say that. Honestly, what other occupation? Because this is a job. So what other occupation would you take this in? not even politics is this nasty. Not at this level with the AH stuff. But I mean, even before the trial, I got 9 strikes that we had to fight. I had to retain. I found a really good multi-channel network that was, a legit. Not there are a lot of scam ones out there, but I found a really good one, and they got them all reversed. But they hit my channel 9 times, and then I had somebody that would know. Let's just say, tell me that if Depp lost this case before it, that I would probably lose my channel. So,
Yeah.
it was it was very real, and,
Wow, man.
it
That's
just
terrible.
is. It is what it is, man. I mean, like I said, I record it. I talk about it because I want people to understand what happens. I never want people to think like, I'm saying, "Oh my God, look at me." I'm saying, "Look, this is what these people do to you." And I want people to understand, you pick up that microphone, I don't care how small you are. Like you said, small channels get this stuff, and small channels lose at it. Bigger channels, we can at least make enough noise to get this reversed, and we can make enough noise to fight back. But
Right.
smaller channels, man, they fall all the time. Like Stevie J Raw, man, that guy's been around forever. His channel got demonetized. Like it's just, it's nuts what's happening to him, for example. He's one of many.
Yeah, but it makes you wonder, because I saw the interview with Colonel Kurtz that he had with Colonel Kurtz, and what's crazy to me is that how is this even happening? I don't like. That's the one thing I'm still trying to wrap my mind around, right? Because these are just people coming out and just talking about these things, right? They're just reporting the news. They're putting out information. A good portion of us are putting out the news. We're not just putting out bull, right? Because we could pull out we could make up a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of people out here that make up and fabricate stuff just so they can get views.
Oh yeah.
For those of us that actually come out with the facts and proof and do our due diligence, the research, the videos, the audio, etc., photos, whatever, suddenly, bang, these guys are getting knocked down, shot down like crazy. For what reason? Because of reporting something that everybody else is reporting. It just may not be what mainstream media is for. It's mind blowing to me, man. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that.
This
No.
topic's becoming a censored topic again too on this platform as well, and you can see it. I find like I spend a lot of time looking at how the algorithm works,
Right.
how views work, and everything else. And it's fascinating. Even this subject right here, I was looking at numbers for it. And it hits, it does well, goes up a certain point, and around the 10-minute level where YouTube decides if it's going to promote or not, bam, it's just like they slam on the brakes for half the stuff. Some of the stuff
Yeah.
gets through, but a lot of stuff doesn't.
It's
Getting
so
censored again.
it's crazy to me because but I feel like that's the same kind of rhythm when you start talking about things. Okay, you start talking about things that happen on the 6th, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
if you talk about that Rona, or if you talk about the poke, or if you talk about certain things, like even right now, I have to use code words to even say these things without even getting in trouble. But I've noticed that whenever it becomes a popular thing that may be polarizing, it'll get exactly what you said. It'll get flagged, things flip, things change, or it gets shadow banned, or the views aren't as what they used to be, kind of thing. And it's just crazy to me that us who are just trying to explore to find the truth are getting in trouble for doing said thing. And it's like, but that's what journalism is, right? That's what we're here to do, which is to search for the truth. And it's just such a shame that that's happening to you and all these other channels that are talking about this subject. The truth needs to be out there, or at least perspective needs to be out there, not just what everybody should be hearing, or what what they need to be thinking is what's being told through the idiot box on the on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News. It's like, hey, let them be independent thinkers and think for themselves and come to a conclusion and side on what side they think is right. And it's frustrating that channels like, not you, of course, you've been fine, but there's other channels that are trying to speak on behalf of let's just say men too, or just saying, hey, DV has no gender, and they're getting flagged or they're getting shut down for no reason, just for speaking their own truth. It's wild. It's
Well,
wild.
some of them, I've seen people get shut down for, like you're saying, when with their own truth, talking about what has happened to them specifically. That's unreal. You go out, if we reverse this, this tells you a lot about society. If we reverse this and you shut down a female survivor, holy crap, the media, society, they would be all over it, and they should be. By the way, that shouldn't be shut down, but it has become somehow societally acceptable to shut men down with it. That's why, like I said, this topic it's about depth, it's about heard to a point. But people who think that it ended with a trial, what changed? I mean, what exactly changed? If people can point to me and tell me who paid for this, the co-conspirators, they didn't. Media, they've gotten worse in some instances. Like you said, some of them, they understand that the public at large doesn't agree with them, but still, I mean, they're awful. You have institutions like, well, let's just say co-conspirator institutions. I noticed that that certain institution is is not. You start talking about them, that's another one you have to use code words
Right.
again. Videos, I used to not even say that because that was a flagged thing. I mean, it's insane the level of censorship around these kind of topics.
Right, because you say that certain Aquaman starlet, and
Yeah.
it works, right?
Mhm.
And it sucks that you got to have those code words actually. It's so annoying. Back in the day when freedom of speech was free. Well, to a certain extent, obviously, you know, within the confines of the truth. How's that? Because anybody can say anything, obviously. We're looking at right now, for example, and she's trying to throw the whole freedom of speech thing into the mucky muck. And it's
Mhm.
like, yo, man, stop. Just stop. Because what you're saying is not the truth. You're lying. There's a difference, right? And so it's just wild to me that there's just the algorithm or the machine, as it is, if you will, has just changed drastically over the past month. I've noticed, um,
Mhm.
and I feel like it is scaring a lot of other channels who used to do a lot of content over this trial. They're switching gears a lot because they're downshifting like crazy on this content or this subject because of the fear of getting smacked in the face. I
But
mean, it's
A-
crazy.
and there's your point right there. A lot of people, they want to attribute it to, there are some people that they cover breaking headlines, right? I
Right.
mean that, so they're going to move on. But some people, again, they are in the trenches. They want to cover, but they're afraid because, they're a lot of people's lives, myself. I mean, this is life changing. My platform is a life changing platform. I have a professional job, but outside of that, like I said, I came on here. I was like, Mel, I'll take lunch. We'll talk because I like your channel, by the way. I do watch.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I
You
was like,
you
all
watch
right,
my channel?
yeah, dude, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Wow. That means well, I watch your channel, obviously. But that means a lot, man. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
I appreciate. No, man, I like it. I like your presentation. I don't know. I just like your channel. I don't comment on a lot of channels normally because oh, you didn't comment on mine, blah blah blah. But like I said, I like your channel. So I was like, yeah, man, that'll be fun. It'll be a fun talk,
Yeah.
But even out that, I mean, this stuff is again, the platforms, they're life changing for creators. So you lose on that platform. So I understand why people back off. I just a lot of the other stuff that like I have people can see who I hang out with, and a lot of people they point at like companies, they point at customer service, how customers are treated. Myself, I can't care about those anymore. Right now, I look at this is the spear tip in a huge societal conversation that we need to have, and the reason it has to take shape around this trial because it has so much publicity. Even if you look at other trials, like, people will pay attention to it to a point. This one, when you shape the conversation around that, and again, JD is part of it, sure, but he got his victory. He's walked away. So I cover his wins, but I try not to drag him into that. She hasn't, and but she's the example of, again, this giant societal problem that we have that needs to be
Yes.
discussed.
I agree. Let me ask you this then. Do you think that there is starting to be more of a shift? You just talked about that there's, she's a big problem in the way that we look at certain situations as a society. Do you think that there is an actual shift happening right because of this particular trial? Or no? Do you think we're just still in the
Yeah.
same situation as before?
I think just people wise, society. Yes, I think I think people never really understood how bad the problem was until they saw this just flagrant example, and then they had everybody and their mama pointing out this is what the media says. This is
Right.
they were showing them the differences. It reminds me, people made the comparison with the O.J. Simpson trial, about the media and how big this was. There's another conversation though. When the O.J. Simpson trial happened, we had a societal conversation about what that meant with policing, everything. That brought on a huge societal conversation.
Yes.
This has also brought on a huge societal conversation. Not the same thing, but again, they both open that door. You get pushback from it from the powers that be. They don't want you to have these kind of conversations. They don't like the public not only becoming aware, but unifying around something. Like, I'll look at the backgrounds. Like we have every political background, religious
Right.
background, everything in this push. You have unification at a level that it scares these people. You can
Yeah.
tell, and
It's
I
it's
like it.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. I'm a talker too.
No,
So
no, 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 it's okay. I mean, this is why you do what you do for a half living, I guess, on the for your side gig, okay? Because I know you got another gig, but you know, um, but yeah, I think that there's something big happening for sure. I also think that it's the shock, the shock of, let's just say, men, okay, being victims, let's just say, I think is becoming less and less alarming. It's becoming less, having less of a jolt because it's going, oh, okay, this is possible. That there are men out here that are, can become victims, and a woman can be the aggressor and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's slowly but surely becoming a thing. I mean, I was just covering, or I have been covering another case of this OF model who had, of course, poked her boyfriend, was claiming self defense, only to find out that there's video out here of her actually being violent towards him, putting her paws on him and all that. And to me now, I'm going, that is not shocking because these stories are real. Well, it was never shocking to me. It was shocking to me that people would find it shocking that men, even if you're a 6'2", 200-pound big guy, people are so surprised that person would not be the one that's putting the paws on the girl. And it's like, no, it's the opposite. You got to realize that those things do exist. I think people are now becoming more in tune that this is real. And I think girls out there, okay, women out there that are putting their paws on their boyfriends or their male spouses or partners, uh, or actually not even male, just putting their paws on any of their loved ones, are now realizing that they could actually get caught and people will actually believe the guy now more than ever before. That's just something I've noticed. That is slow. That shift is slowly happening, but I think it's happening pretty damn quick, especially after you see this trial, which was just, I mean, even the blind can see that that trial was just,
Oh yeah.
it was eye-opening, man. Absolutely eye-opening.
I think people are waking up to listen and believe culture is a broken idea. Obviously, our judicial or our law enforcement system does not do justice to survivors of horrible items. And we have these pendulum shifts. We had a pendulum shift in society where people were like, well, we're going to get justice. And unfortunately, you see, abusers, they take advantage of it. You see the false accusations. And like you said, people are learning quickly. They they wanted to do something good. They thought listen and believe it was more, and it is if somebody comes out and they say, "Hey, I've been abused." I have all the empathy in the world for them, man. I want people to be able to speak their truth. But when they say that person did it to me, let's burn them down. There's your problem right there. And you can see how that be misused. There are headlines that have told us that this is a problem too. I posted one earlier. There was a lady in 2019 didn't even get a blink from the media. She got 10 years in jail for falsely accusing 15 men. One of them spent 7 years in jail. The media didn't even blink. They gave it a headline, and it was just like a headline of the day, and that's it, you know. And we see more and more of that too. We see more and more cases where people haven't just been blamed for something; they've spent some of them decades in prison. They get exonerated, and I mean, like I said, the media doesn't blink. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry here. It's not just this I try to frame this very well because there are conspiracists out there. I've talked to a few. I'm like, whoa, no, I don't want this is reality. The reality is that there are billions of dollars that are made in a narrative that men are the abuser and women are always the abused. If you switch that model out, if you suddenly say men, they actually need advocacy too. If you need homes, shelters for men, for example, which rarely exist, and the government puts money into that, that's money taken out of the hands of people that already have it. There are billions of reasons. Just like Amber Heard had millions of reasons not to tell the truth with her charitable donations, these people have billions of reasons, not to tell
Yeah,
the truth.
absolutely, absolutely. That's that. I would love to see more situations like that for men. I'm not trying to sit here and say, oh, like we gonna talk about men and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say it like that, but I wish that there were the same. Well, I'm hoping. Let's just say that I'm hoping that we're starting to shift towards that side because I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm not. This is ridiculous, and I know this is a little bit off the beaten path again, but it's an honor to have you on here again, Tug. Real talk. But I opened up my TikTok, right,
Mhm.
and randomly, it's maybe the second video I swiped through. There's a video where these guys are sitting there going, "Hey, it's like an emotional video. Like, where do who do you talk to whenever you're feeling bad, or who do you talk to whenever you're feeling that you need to talk to somebody?" And these are all videos from random guys just being like, "I don't know where. I don't talk to anybody. I just deal with it." Countless dudes in this video, compilation video of all these guys saying this, and I was like, "Wow." It's crazy and scary that there's a lot of people out there, not only just guys, but we're just going to focus on guys for a second here that don't have a place where they can actually speak out or talk if they are a victim, if they're not, if they're just dealing with mental health, etc., whatever, that we don't have a safe place that we can actually go to and speak our mind or talk to somebody. It's scary that we can't do that as men. We have to be, macho. We got to be resilient. We're not emotional. We don't deal with things, like that. We wear our underwear 2 days in a row, and then flip it inside out and wear it again
Right.
because we're men. You know what I mean? And it's like we drink beer and we smoke Marlboro Reds because we're men. And it's like, well, wait a second. There needs to be a place where we can actually talk. But we don't have anything like that.
Nope.
So we just deal with it ourselves. Because as soon as we speak out and say something like AH and JD, then people either laugh at us or they think we're straight lying.
Mhm.
And I wish I would see. I wish I would kill to see more facilities, more groups, so on and so forth, where guys can actually just speak out and not be judged. What are your thoughts on that, Tug?
Well, my profession, I'm in mental health, and like I said, this is a
That's
scary
what's up.
statement for me. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that is my profession. I've worked with. One of the things that drew me to cases like this is the fact the words that are thrown around by these people. Those
Mm,
words have meaning. They are the people who do this to other people. They are the worst of the worst in our society, and when we don't want them around us, but like you're saying, on the other side of that, for advocacy, I myself. I as a man, like I said, this is a crazy statement to hear come out of my mouth, but as a man, I won't talk about anything in my past like that. I'll talk about stuff. I'll talk about substance use. I've just now gotten to the point where I would talk about that, but like anything like trauma or something, I wouldn't because, and that's nothing against people who do. I think they're very, that's a strong person that does it. But the way
right.
that you're met with that, man, like you said, the scorn, the ridicule, it's just, it's awful to watch. That's why we have sky high suicide rates amongst men
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
nothing.
Like 70%,
Yep.
something crazy like that. I mean, because we are lost.
Yep.
Unfortunately, us guys. I mean, shoot, even myself. I'll be honest. You're sharing. I'm going to share. There are times when I want to talk to a friend or talk to somebody that isn't my wife. Because don't get me wrong, my wife is my best friend, but
Mhm.
at the same time, sometimes you just want to talk to a friend or talk to somebody that understands where you're coming from as a guy. Let's just say that, right? Because sometimes guys need to have that guy talk, right? And sometimes, you get lost. Sometimes you're going, oh, who can I call? Who
Yep.
can I call that I can trust, right? That's going to not judge me or not, say maybe use this later on against me or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I think that there's a lot of guys that get worried about that too, and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And I'm not going to sit here and say that girls have girls that they can call all the time, but at the same time, though, we were brought up in a society where men aren't supposed to feel like this, aren't supposed to be emotional, aren't supposed to be thinking emotionally. We're supposed to hunt, gather, bring home the bacon, right? And be manly. Keep our heads under the hood of the car, fixing things, lifting weights, and drinking beer, but we can't feel. And so I feel like this is a movement towards something more. At least I would hope for all of men's mental health for sure, because that's just as important as everyone else's as well.
It
Uh,
is, these are universal, there are universal needs. I try to, this shouldn't be some profound statement. There are universal needs we all share. Women have their own needs, that like
yeah,
I can't speak to because I'm not female, and there are men needs, and we need to meet everyone's needs. That
absolutely.
I remember. So I don't do a lot of therapy anymore. I used to work with child victims. That was something I did a lot. And
That's what's
after a
up.
while, man, you work with that, and you hear horrible stories every day,
Oh yeah,
and it just, it after a while, it messes you up inside. So I started having problems with that. They call that secondary trauma. You just can't do that anymore. And I remember thinking, instead of getting help about it at first, as a mental health therapist, I thought, I can't say anything about that because it's weakness. It's weakness that I'm emotionally moved.
it's
I thought, that's
yeah.
terrible.
It's kind of interesting because there's also that worry of I want to be professional, right? And if
Yep.
if suddenly you start feeling, then you're not a professional anymore. And it's like, wait a second, no, it's still you're feeling this because those are traumatic. They're telling you these stories that are traumatic as hell, and then after some time, when you're dealing with those, you start to internalize. Eventually, it starts to seep in. It starts to soak into the skin.
Mhm.
It's wild, and that's an interesting question of what do therapists speak do therapists seek therapists.
Yes,
So thank
they do. But again, it's another problem with male there. Like I said, the issue with men, we are conditioned. Right, right or wrong, it's definitely wrong. But we are conditioned, like you said. We're perceived a certain way. We're told all the time, men can feel, men can cry, men can do all of this. No, you can't. You
Mhm.
can't. I've just gotten to the point. I had this trial, it brought up another thing too. It brought up the idea of substance use and abuse. There is a stigma, shame that comes with that as well. Look how they stigmatize that in this trial. If you
Right.
use substances, you abuse women. Wait, what? Like,
Right. Exactly. No, that's absolutely right. When it's actually could have been the opposite, where she was using it to try to obviously abuse him or try to catch him in a way to blackmail him, so on and so forth. But it is kind of wild that suddenly, if you have substance abuse issues, suddenly now you're just
well,
a DV monster, and it's like, no, that's not the case. That's not the
most
case.
most survivors or people in the moment, I'll call them victim because they're in the moment. They're either stuck in that moment or they're in that moment being victimized. They seek an outlet to get away. It's interesting to me. All these people, they talk about Depp's increased drug use. I don't know, man. If someone was chopping my fingers off and putting cigarettes out on my face and I felt like I couldn't get away, maybe I would seek to a way to escape my reality.
Right.
Maybe it would be through drug use, copious amounts of drug use.
I mean, it seemed as if she was an enabler. Then also he's stuck in a way. Also, he is a victim of A as well. So when you are growing up with that, and then you find yourself in a relationship exactly like that, and you're known to freeze as a kid, then you grow up, you lean on substances. Now you realize you're with, in his mind, a baddie, right? And so he goes, oh my God, this girl's gorgeous. She's this, that, and the third. But now I'm stuck. And I have no way to turn around and tell anyone this because no one's going to believe me. So I'm just going to lean to what I know best, which is substance, right? Which is drugs, alcohol, so on and so forth. And then just knock myself out so that maybe when I wake up the next morning, she's not bothering me anymore. It's just me hungover, and no issues and no issues are on the table. It's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. How that all that went down. It's
Well,
terrible. You know what I
well,
mean?
they brought up mental health, coping skills that came up for anger and stuff. That taking drugs is a coping skill. It's not an appropriate coping skill. It's just like with anger management. You punch a wall, you're not angry anymore. You saw a lot of things are slamming drawers or whatever. You're taking that anger and you're putting it somewhere where it doesn't go to a target that you don't want it to go to. She's gaslighting him. She's wanting him to explode, and he doesn't have an outlet. And you see this multiple times. Again, is the coping skill appropriate? No, because it doesn't help him. If you break an item or you hit something, you hurt yourself. You hurt items. But what you're trying not to do is you're trying not to let your abuser coax you into something that you don't want to happen. And like I said, I feel like we saw that again and again with Depp. He was looking for way. I mean, he's hiding in the bathrooms, for God's sake. I mean,
Right.
that's a horrible story when you get to it. And again, if we
Terrifying.
were to if we had if Amber Heard would have come out missing a finger with a cigarette burn on her face, could you
Oh,
imagine the reaction?
it'd be a wrap, son. He would be in prison. They would have
Yep.
buried him under the prison. In fact, we would be doing videos, you and I most likely,
Mhm.
just saying, please bury him under the prison. He doesn't deserve. He doesn't even deserve to see light anymore. How dare he do this to this young woman? So on and so forth. Oh my Lord! I mean the backlash, the ridicule, and the anger that would be flooding in his direction if that was the situation would be astronomical. I
Well,
will say this though too. You wouldn't see him writing a book. No one would allow him to
No.
write a book. They would not be offering him a triple X movie. They wouldn't be offering him all this stuff. They would just say, go crawl into a corner and rot, bro. That's it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it's like I said, this whole thing is so weird. And no one, I don't think, there would not be a Team JD, like bots and whatever. There wouldn't be that either. Everyone would sit there and go, how dare this guy do this, in unison, right? And for some crazy reason, we have the exact opposite on this. It's so wild to me. I got a couple super chats I wanted to grab because some people are showing some love real quick. Pink Society said Christmas in August, because I did say that because I was like, wow. First, it's Elaine getting fired. Then I got Tug on coming onto the show. I was like, is this Christmas? So she said Christmas in August. Hold on real quick. Objection Trickery. Thank you so much for the 5. It's a great day indeed with Tug's Hugs. Sorry. My bad. First time reading this. Latif, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the 10. Welcome, Tug, to the show. We may not all follow, but we are all fans here. Thank you so much for saying that, bro. I think I got one more here real quick. I think. Could be a straight lie. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. Teresa Stewart, thank you so much for the 5. Even if they had new evidence, they can't bring it up on appeal.
Yep.
So even so, wouldn't even matter. So then why would they? See, that's the thing, though. I still don't understand why those lawyers would say said thing. It doesn't make sense. Why throw people off the beaten path if they can't even use that ish at all?
Because they're not talking about the courtroom. They're talking about the court of public opinion. A lot of this is public spectacle, and I think Amber Heard she didn't understand that at first. That's one of the reasons that one of the reasons they hate so many of us is because when we saw what was happening, we picked this subject up. We started talking about it, and it grew. It kept growing. More people would talk about it. I'm not going to say, I wasn't one of the first people out there. People like Incredibly Average, they were like, hey, this is here. Watch this. And when Yellow Flash, I came with Yellow Flash. He told me. He was like, man, you got to check this out. Actually he said something like, whatever stupid thing you're covering, stop covering it. Look at this case. And I looked at it. I was like, man, this is nuts. Then I watched Incredibly Average, and Incredibly Average's stuff on Australia it was mind blowing what was being said there. And the further you went down this rabbit hole, you notice how insane this was. And on top of that, there was no news agency reporting any of this stuff whatsoever. They had locked it out. Anytime something new would come out, the same places that would report a celebrity eating a bagel wouldn't cover body cam footage coming about what happened with Amber Heard. They had locked the subject out. They thought that was enough. But more and more of us, we pick up on that, and bam, like I said, that's why they want to destroy us all for it. And I mean, it's not just if it was just a bunch of unpaid intern media bots and a few crazies out there, we wouldn't care. I would pick this up and I would laugh at them a few times here and there, but I'd cover something else after a while. We would be done. But I mean, we're seeing political moves to keep the next Johnny Depp trial from happening, rewriting this, calling everything that we talk about bullying and harassing because a female perpetrator did this. If Harvey Weinstein does something, you could talk about him for a decade, man. But if somebody abuses a man and puts a hoax crime together for 6 years, no, can't do that. Believe
crazy, right?
Yep.
It's absolutely insane to me that this is. I like I said, I still wrap my mind around this whole thing. Like, I figured as soon as that verdict came out, there might have been a few more stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, just going, okay, she lost, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. She's off doing this, or he's off to do some big movie. He's finally getting his career back. Yay, whoop-de-woo. I didn't know it was going to be months later where we're still talking and covering more of this information and all that, and it's totally fine. Don't get me wrong. It's entertaining, and of course it's information, of course, that we need to know too, for those of us that have been following this particular case. But it is wild how desperate that team, or her now new team, seems to be. Instead of them just going, okay, go into a cave, lick their wounds, and just let it be what it is, they're still just coming out with more and more stuff, just desperately trying to change the narrative out here, which I don't think it's ever going to happen, right? But do you think there's any evidence out there, anything at all, no, any smoking gun evidence out there that could tell us otherwise? That,
No.
say, JD was one who's putting his hands on her. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't. I actually like listening to it. I spend a lot of time because I want to be right in this. I don't want to
Of
just
course.
go out and defend a person because they're a male or whatever. I spend a lot of time looking at this and talking. Like I said, I've talked to dozens and dozens of people that were associated with this stuff too. It was people again associated with her, associated with him. Um, it's amazing who would talk. Like again in the trial, it came out. The only person I'll say is Adam Waldman because that's of course he made that known. So, but I
Right.
mean, there were a lot of people. Like again, we are talking about people that are everywhere from worked with him to people that had intimate relations, and and on the other side of that, and what you heard was a story about somebody that it sounds like they orchestrated this campaign a long time ago. They set off. In fact, I firmly believe I've said this many times. I firmly believe her process was to. I think she was going to end him. I think that was the plan. I think when he lost that 600 plus $1 million, I think that probably saved his life. To be honest.
Interesting. That's interesting because as far as you just trying to end him, you're just saying just trying to end his career.
I'm talking about end him. Like I'm saying, like a lifetime story. I think
E-
it plays
Erase
like,
him from the planet.
yeah. I mean, think about this.
Gotcha.
Okay, if you and I were talking about
Wow.
yeah, I think they were plotting. I think it was a plot is what it was because again, I don't want to sound conspiratorial. On it. Just
Okay.
think about it. Just think about it this way. You have a lady telling her friends that all these terrible things are happening behind the scenes, right?
Right.
And they're all talking about items like, why don't you bring knives to conversations? Again, where's the humor line in that when, man, if I'm telling you that I'm being beaten behind the scenes, that, I'm having all these horrible things happen. You've seen the stories. I mean, I just call them all these horrible things. And then
Right.
they start talking about again, I need to bring knives to conversations and stuff. Like I said, that sounds like a Lifetime movie. It,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
it is a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're watching a real life Lifetime movie. It's just months long. You know what I'm saying? It's just one story at a time. But that is crazy. I have heard speculation about, say, plotting to end him, all right, or to remove him, to erase him, let's just say that.
Yeah.
I've heard stories, but I never saw anything that showed proof of that. But I'm not sitting here saying that it isn't possible. It sounds very possible in my personal opinion, with everything that's gone down, especially when you look even more now, when you look at that article that just recently came out from House Inhabit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's huge, damning, very eye-opening article. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say all of it is true, but maybe a good percentage of it, I believe, is true. Now, if she had a history of doing something like this, what if this was her whole MO? What if this was her routine con? But this time she was going to marry the guy. She maybe saw that this guy was, I don't know, maybe had his own demons and whatnot, and so she could easily manipulate this guy. And then maybe instead of it being a him before he could before she could do anything more devastating, like say erasing him, he says, "I'm done. I've had enough. I'm out." Right, and then of course everything else has followed in suit. Um, but it's interesting to think that there's a possibility of this turning into like a Lifetime movie, as you said.
Yeah, well, I mean, there, like I said, I thought one of the one of the one of the things that led me to that. Again, there was the text messages. You saw the text messages about the knives, basically, in
Oh yeah.
conversation. Yeah,
Oh
yeah. So I always thought, like again, people were like, "Oh, that's just a joke." Okay, you got to think about that in context. If you and I were just like, "Ah, let's bring some knives in conversation," that would be a joke, obviously. But if I were telling you behind the scenes, dude, these horrible things are happening to me. This monster, especially a female talking to a male saying this. I mean, like I said, it just sounds like you're prepping that dumb idiot in a Lifetime movie to go out and do something terrible. And,
yeah.
she had 600 million reasons to do it at the time. So,
No doubt. No doubt. You're right. Wow. Well, Tug, I know you got things to do and
yeah,
stories to tell and lives to save. And I appreciate you coming on here and chopping it up with me
yeah, man.
and just talking about all this. And would love to have you back on again in the near future because this is a story. This is the song that doesn't end. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna keep getting more and more salacious, and we're gonna keep talking about it until the story is over. So would love to have you on again soon to talk more about this.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just can't I'm very I'm very impulsive about popping up. I'm terrible about plans to pop up on a show, but
That
yeah,
was fun.
just hit me up, man. I like I
Yeah,
said, I like your show. I
thank you.
catch it, like I was listening while I was working on something. I was like, yeah, this is, hey, I dropped it. I was looking at who was live on it, and I saw that you were live talking about it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna check out, see what you think about this.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you
Yeah, man.
just tuning in and checking it out and all that. I will do this though. I want to, of course, give you a shameless plug. Y'all need to go and follow that umbrella guy, aka Tug. Okay, so please go over to his channel. You want to say anything and just promote your channel, let people know about your stuff?
Yeah, when I I've been covering this for a while. It is the one thing that I cover now. Again, it's the one thing that I'm passionate about. And again, when people look at this conversation, remember she may be the catalyst for the conversation. He may be a catalyst, but again, it is a bigger societal talking point. That's why it's important. And it's
Hmm.
also funny. I don't know. I kind of like, the media complains about the thumbnails and stuff. So I love putting that same design on everything. It makes them so mad. But yeah, if you want to check it out, you can. We're all we're all allies in this stuff too. We may cover different things. We may come at something from different, but we have the same people that hate us and want to destroy us all. We are unified in that. So, again,
Absolutely.
check it out if you want to. And I appreciate you all.
Yeah, guys, please go check out Tug's channel, that umbrella guy. All right. Please go check it out. It's right there. Obviously, he has been covering the AHJD situation for a long while. I like to say this man has a PhD in this damn thing. Okay. Because he breaks it down beautifully. And he's got that great voice. You hear it on the show. You hear it right now on the show. I mean, he's got a great speaking voice. He's got that radio voice. You know what I mean? So please go and hit that subscribe button over there and show him some love. Tell him that I sent you. Okay, go check out his recent video. He just talked about Elaine getting fired, getting her ass canned. Okay, so please go and check that out. Hit that like button down below over there and comment saying, "Hey, the Pascal Show sent me over here." That would really, really mean a lot. Tug, thank you so much for being on. It's an
Yeah, man.
honor to have you on. Real talk. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on, and I look forward to seeing you back on here again. All
Yeah,
right,
man. Just like I said, hit me up and
I
we'll be
will.
good. And thanks to your listeners too. I appreciate y'all. All right. I'm gonna jump. Appreciate you, man.
Bye bye. Bye. Anyway, guys, that was wild. That was wild. That's cool news. I mean, or a cool event. You know what I'm saying? It's Christmas today. It's the most wonderful time of the year. You know what I'm saying? That was great. That was great. I appreciate him coming on. Dang, there's so much to there was so much with this piece of information that of course everybody and their mom is talking about it, who has been covering the AHJD situation, this whole story, this whole trial. Actually, I saw something in the corner of my eye which was funny as hell, which I appreciated. Boom, it's Kim I just saw this, and I see some super chats. I'm going to grab those here in a second as well. But this is the trial that doesn't end, and it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started thinking some people started to cover it, not knowing what it was. Me and her Kim too. Well, and I hope I don't have to cover it forever just because something like that. I'm messing it up. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Okay. She's already done her own parody to this situation. Okay. And yes, it is a situation. It is a song. It is a trial that doesn't end. It just keeps going and going. But at the same time, we're all here for it. We're all here for the information. We're all here for the craziness. You know what I'm saying? But Tug said something beautifully, that this trial, these stories that we're covering, all that, it's bigger than just this trial, right? And he's absolutely 110% right. There's so much more to this trial than meets the eye. And I think that we're all looking at this and talking about it and looking, I think the ones of us that are looking at this and seeing the story and are willing to look outside the box on this are the ones that are consistently watching the shows, consistently watching Tug's videos, my videos, the Popcorn Planet videos. You see what I'm saying? Steph the Alter Nerds videos, Nerd Reports videos. It's Kim videos. You see what I'm saying? Because we want to be reminded that it's time for a change. And it's time to look at things the way that they are, not just what we're told how we're supposed to perceive things. And I think that's what is a big thing here. And of course, being able to talk about mental health. And of course, I know we focused mostly on men on this particular conversation, but we don't get a lot of conversations about men striving for mental health. We don't. So it's necessary, incredibly necessary, that we have these conversations and talk about these things. And yes, I know a lot of us get, tired. It's like, oh my God, all this about AH and JD. No, yes, it is part of that. And yes, sometimes it's a lot of fun where we can sit there and shoot the ish and laugh and chuckle and get a really good belly laugh going on about the ridiculousness that's going on. But it's also a reminder that, hey, things are changing. They might be moving slowly. The needle might be moving very, very slowly, but it is moving nonetheless towards something positive, right? Didn't Bob Dylan say it best? These times they are changing. You know what I'm saying? And the only way we can do that is if we continue to tell these stories, is if we keep bringing awareness to these things and we talk openly about what's going on, not only just in the titles, but within ourselves as well, with what's going on within ourselves. That's what we should be doing as a society, and as men and as women, period. Let me get this one super chat. Oh, I got a couple super chats. My bad. Did I get this? No, I didn't. T in Tennessee, what's up, girl? Thank you so much for the 5. I really do appreciate it. It is the equivalent of the 100 bottle of beer on the wall. It's funny. I did a video on that like a long time ago where I literally just sang 100 like all the way down to 1 in a video. I don't know why I did that. It was stupid, but yeah. All right. I did it one time. But yes, it is the story, and it is like the 100 bottle of beer on the wall type of thing. It just keeps going and repeat. Michael Clark, thank you so much for the 10. The Me Too movement and the media allowed all too easily for liars to get their careers propelled by posing as victims, which were made to look heroic for speaking out. They were made saints. Yeah, you're right. Like I said, there is there is something for sure that has gone on where, and I've seen it in other hashtags too. It's not only just that hashtag. Okay. There are other hashtags as well I've seen where people have leaned on that and then suddenly go, hey, go and go. I have a GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm trying to raise money for this X, Y, and Z. I've seen people do that all the time. Try to finesse by leaning on a particular hashtag that, a lot of people are for. They're standing in solidarity for certain things. I've seen people do this all the time. And then you find out the real facts and you find out the real truth and you're going, whoa, I just donated like $500 to that person, or I was supporting and I was out there in the streets, protesting and marching with those people, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Or I'm at the rallies and all that. And that's what's so sad, right? Because a lot of us are quick to jump towards, oh, it's the injustice of such thing, right? Of such and such, without actually really looking into the facts. Some are plain out there. I'm not sitting here saying that everything you have to do this deep dive, right? Some of it is right there in front of you, right? Some of the proof is right there in front of you, and it's hard to ignore the proof. And then, of course, you stand in solidarity. But then there's other ones where you're like, wait, what really happened here? I'm confused. But everybody is running for that hashtag instead of actually looking into it. And that's where it gets really sloppy and unfortunate, because then there's a lot of people out here that lean on those hashtags and they finesse the hell out of the people out here that are just trying to do good. And that's what's frustrating about this. We're looking at one right now. We're talking about this situation with this title and this subject matter that, right now, which is in constant reminder of, whoa, this person was literally taking full advantage, like what Michael Clark just said, taking full advantage of something that they shouldn't have. And that's what sucks, how quickly the pendulum can go from one side that's so good and positive and swing right over to negative, because somebody got to go in there and exploit the hell out of it. And that's exactly what we're dealing with here. T in Tennessee, thank you so much for 5. Elaine being fired was coming because AH can't take any responsibility herself. Absolutely. Which, of course, we talked about earlier, but I agree. She did not want to take any. She's still not taking any responsibility. And in fact, what Tug said earlier, which I didn't look at it like that. So I'm glad that I had him on the show. So shout out to that umbrella guy. Please go and subscribe to his channel. Shout out to our brother now. But he did say this is clearly an attempt at trying to sway the public, the court of public opinion. And that makes total sense, because it's like they can't use this evidence. They can't use this stuff to put it out there, to put it into court. They can't use it in court, but they're going to say that this stuff exists just so they can get other people to jump onto the Team AH gravy train, or lack thereof gravy. But you know what I'm saying. I gotta hold on one second, guys. And Nichols Blooms, thank you so much for becoming a member. Hey, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you becoming a member. Thank you so much. And guys, it's very simple. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can do just like Nichols Blooms just did and hit that join button down below. Become a member, support the channel. That would really mean a lot. You can also check out my locals page. You can also check out my Patreon. And of course, I got the Cash App there too. But, whatever, just go and support, hit that join button down below. All right. That would be greatly appreciated. All right. But yes, guys, it is important that I really do think it's very important that we start speaking out. Like, Tug and I spoke or tapped on just mental health really quick. And it was really cool to hear a little bit more of his professional background and what he does outside of the YouTube channel. And I think it's really incredible that he's able to open up and talk more about these things. And that's the thing, and like I said before, it's more than just, men speaking out or being open. It's just all of us being able to be open and talk about things, because there's also, because I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, there are women out there. Shoot, there's kids out there that are not speaking out about things that are happening inside their home. And if there's anything dangerous, anything terrible happening inside your homes, I urge every single last one of you guys to reach out to somebody. And I know we just talked about it a second ago. Some guys, men, have a hard time finding someone to talk to, that opening up, so on and so forth. I mean, even women too. There's a lot of women out there that say, "Hey, I don't have anyone I can call." But at least if you're able to reach out to somebody, because I don't want to discourage anybody thinking that you can't speak out, you can't talk to somebody, but you can. It's just a matter of picking up the phone and calling that one friend that you have. I don't know. In my mind, I look at it like this. I'd rather have 5 seconds of embarrassment because of speaking out about something than have a lifetime of hell. So I urge every single last one of you that are watching, for those of y'all who really don't think that you have someone you can talk to, you do. You actually do. And sometimes we need to get out of the we need our ego to be out, to get out of the way, so that we can actually speak. Because a lot of it is ego. Oh, I'm gonna be embarrassed because of this, and this, and blah blah blah, or it's fear too. But if you push both of those things aside, there's someone out there that you like, that you care for, that you are friends with, that would be more than happy to receive that phone call and help you find salvation. So I just wanted to say that really quick, because I know we said a lot in the very beginning or when Tug came on, but I did want to emphasize that a little bit more, that you're not alone. And I feel that a lot of us feel that we're just alone, but we're not. We're not. And sometimes the person that you can reach out to is the person that's sitting right next to you, but you don't say anything. I think it's time for us to start speaking up more, not being scared and speaking up. Okay? So, anyway, I see some comments, and I appreciate all you guys for coming in here and talking, because it is hard out here, you know? And some of us feel like maybe some people feel like they don't have anybody they can really lean to. Well, maybe reach out, speaking to a professional. There are hotlines out here like crazy that will be more than happy to be a listening ear to any situations that you have going on. Like I said, at least being able to reach out to someone is better than not reaching out to anyone at all. Trust me, you will thank me later. Real talk. But outside of all that, Elaine got fired. Yeah, damn right she got fired. And I don't know about you, but I am happy as hell about it. Pink Society, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you, Pascal. This is a topic that needs to be talked about. That was beautiful, and I'm sure someone needed to hear that. Talking about mental health needs to be much more normalized. Absolutely. I agree. And not because of something devastating that happened, right? Because like I've been covering that OF model that did that thing to her boyfriend in Miami, in their Miami apartment, and instantly everyone goes, "Oh, mental health." Or if there's a mass such and such, mass casualty where multiple lives are taken, right? Because of one person with a weapon. Obviously, I got to use a lot of code words here. Instantly we go towards mental health, but we're always talking about it when ish goes down, aftermath of when ish has gone down, rather than talking about, okay, I'm not happy right now. I'm going through some issues right now. I need to talk to somebody. We always hear about mental health and the necessity of being able to speak out about those things afterwards, after everything has gone down, not when things are just brewing inside of you, when you're upset, when you're sad about something. We don't do it. We don't. We wait till the tragedy happens, and then we start talking about, oh, we need to talk about mental health. No, be proactive. That's the thing. I think people get complacent, even with their own mental health. They go, oh yeah, it's fine. I'll just do this, or I'll just do that, or I'll run, or I'll work out, or I'll do some drugs, or I'll whatever. Or I'll just keep it bottled up, whatever. I'll just I'll go and find my own version of escapism. I'll turn on the TV. I'll watch a bunch of I'll binge watch a bunch of Netflix and just chill by myself and not do anything, rather than actually being proactive about finding mental happiness. It's a big thing. Like I said, we'll talk about it all the live long day after a tragedy goes down. What if we were able to be proactive beforehand? Maybe we would have less. I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm like I'm the know all and be all. But I just keep saying, if we were just more proactive towards this, we wouldn't be hearing all these terrible stories going on. Some people that do need to find the right kind of medication aren't doing so. They're complacent sometimes, right? And they're fine with whatever it is that's going on until that tragic moment. It just feels like sometimes. But I feel that I feel it's necessary. Sorry, I can't talk today, but I feel like it's necessary for proactivity. If you're not feeling happy, if you're dealing with something, reach out to somebody. Reach out to a friend. If it's something that you feel that needs to be more, then reach out to a professional. It's like working out. For those of us that do work out, right? We're constantly working on lifting, running faster, lifting heavier weights, so on and so forth, trying to better our shell. But what about what's inside our shell, right? We tend to forget that this up here needs a cleanup every once in a while too. Needs that tune up. We just think, oh, well, if I look good naked, I'll be fine. That's not true. Oh, if I have money and this dope ride, I'll be fine. Nope, not that either. Shoot, even so, if I find love, I find the person of my dreams, I'll be fine. No, too. And you can have all three of those things at the same damn time. That still does not mean that you will have mental health. Sometimes you got to get under the hood. Okay? Sometimes you got to get under the hood and tinker around. It's okay. And that's the other thing people get scared of. Oh, does this mean I'm like, I got to use the word crazy? Does this mean I'm crazy? No. It just means that you are mindful of what's going on inside of yourself. That means you're in tune with what's going on inside of yourself and you're willing to go and try to find a way to tune things up, fix things a little bit. That's it. It's okay. It's literally okay. Berenice, thank you so much for the 5. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Press Start Productions, thank you so much for the 5. Sorry, I can't do much today. Payday Friday. Oh, it's okay. The struggle is real, but I just still can't go unsaid how important and relevant your words are. Appreciate you. Well, thank you for the 5. You didn't have to do that. You could just set it in the comment, but I do appreciate you. Press Start. Thank you so very, very much. And yes, like I said, I'm going to get off my soapbox here in a second, but I'm just saying it's just really, really, really important. Okay. It's just important that we're fine tuning ourselves. If we go hit the gym or if we go run miles, do some road work, whatever it is, cycling, whatever, yoga, whatever it is, that's fine. But that's still, yes, and it helps with mental health. Yes, it does. But that still doesn't mean that you're cracking open the brain and really just dealing with whatever traumas, whatever things, whatever failures, whatever triumphs that may have traumatized you in life. Seriously. I just say it's very important. As much as it's important to keep ourselves healthy and our heart healthy, not clogging these arteries and stuff, same thing goes on up there too. You can get that stuff just clogged with so much negativity. And then next thing you know, God forbid, we're talking about how important mental health is after the fact. And that's very frustrating. True Crime with Shannon. Thank you so much. I love running. Helps a lot. Yes, I run every night. I put in about 2 miles, 2.5, maybe 3, depending. And it's the most amazing thing in the world. Yesterday, I did a 10-mile hike. It was terrible, but man, did it feel good after it was over. I think I was just happy it was over, but I'm just playing. But it was amazing, getting out, breathing in that fresh air, breathing in that freedom air, as I say. All right. It felt good as hell, and I like to work out. I do that too. But that stuff makes me feel good. But then I also, I'm lucky enough to have people in my corner that I can confide in, and there are days when you don't know who you can talk to. Yes, that's true too. But you still speak up. You still say something to somebody, I think that's just very important. Extremely important. It's Kim. Mental health is crazy important. Please do not be afraid to reach out. Absolutely, it's Kim. I agree 110 bloody %. Okay. Cup of silver bullets. Pascal here saving lives. Meditation helps and therapy meds are not for everyone. Yes, that is true. That is very true. So yeah, like I said, you just have to be very careful on, you speak to the right professional, you talk to the right people. You never know. It could literally just be a holistic thing, just taking some time to yourself, doing some yoga, doing some meditation, etc. You could do those things too, and see if those things work. If it doesn't work for you and you feel like you need to really speak to somebody, then speak to somebody. That's it. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate all y'all for being on here and chopping it up with me. Hey, I see we're almost at 1,000. We're almost at 1K. If you can do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Send it past 1K for me. Like I said, a like does not cost a thing. That would really mean a lot to me. All right. I know that the conversation kind of turned left into mental health talk, But and I and of course hit that subscribe button too. But I would love to be able to, have you guys like do a show, talk about mental health, etc. Because I think it's something that we do talk about from time to time on this channel. But we haven't really dove into one and just had it be its own thizang, right? Its own focus. So I would love to be able to bring and maybe get Tug back on to talk about that as well, and bring other professionals in the world of mental health to talk more about that as well. Because I think it's really important, Mia, thank you so much for the $10. I really do appreciate it. It's a really bad day to demonize JD for his. It was a really bad play. Sorry, it was a really bad play to demonize JD for substance abuse issues, because it ignores how widespread it is, and people are becoming less ignorant about it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. It was a bad move. But that was the only one of the only things that they had. And like Tug said earlier, they tried so hard to make it seem like, oh, if you deal with substance abuse, you put your paws on your wife. That makes no sense. That makes no bloody sense. It's stupid. It's like, oh, because you're wearing a white tank top, hey, fella, because you're wearing a white tank top, suddenly, oh, okay. You just clearly you put your hands on your wife. What? That makes no sense. Sorry, the connection does not work for me. It's far-fetched. Very, 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 very far-fetched. Okay? I will say that. Very far-fetched. But anyway, guys, again, I will say this again. True Crime said, I'd love to talk about it if you do a show. Okay. True Crime Shannon. Definitely. We will talk about it for show. Okay. Yes, please smash that like button. Please get it past 1K. That would really mean a lot. Okay. And yes, Emily Blue Jay. Yes. He was on the show just a little bit ago. He graced us with his presence. All right. And he dropped some knowledge. All right. Which I really appreciated as well. Again, just on that subject of mental health, speak to somebody, speak out, talk to somebody if you can. Okay. That's it. That is the show, guys. I really do appreciate all y'all for being here, chopping it up with me and everything. Please do me a favor. We're 3 likes away from 1K. So just hit that like button. Get it past 1K. That would be amazing. All right. Bang. We're at 1K. Booyah. Braka. Appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Shout out to Tug. One thing. Let me kill this really quick. One more time. I'm gonna show, I gotta give him some love, because he didn't have to come onto the show at all. Okay, he didn't have to come onto the show at all, bro. So let me show you guys his channel one more time. Please go and check out that umbrella guy. All right, that would be greatly appreciated. Please go hit that subscribe button over there. This man is like the PhD of the JDAH saga. Okay, so please go hit that subscribe button over there. And of course, on his latest video, if you do me that small little favor, if you haven't done it yet, go over there, check it out, hit the like button, and in the comments, just say, the Pascal Show sent me here. That's it. Hey, Tug, Pascal Show sent me here. Show him some love. Whatever you want to say. Just as long as you say, Pascal Show sent me here, that would really, really mean a lot, just so he knows that the people, my fam, was over there giving him love and all that stuff, which he rightfully deserves, because he's been putting his work into this whole saga. And yeah, he deserves the love. I'm just going to say that. Okay. Fun times indeed. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys for being on. I appreciate all y'all for being on. What a great show. I hopefully will be hopping on to Popcorn Planet in a few hours when he goes live. So I'm going to, because it's his birthday, so I want to say hello and wish him happy birthday. So I will be on hopefully a little bit later. All right. Also, let's not forget this. Bang. I forgot. I need to show this. Do you agree? Do you agree with AH's firing? 74% of you guys say yes. And 25%, that's weird, 25% of you guys say no. Over 1.2K votes on that poll. On that poll, okay? Stephanie Tam, thank you so much for the 5 Canadian. Thanks. It's Kim, Pascal, and Tug for the show. Check out Tug and Pascal's locals. Yes, please. Check out my locals. It's right there in the ticker down below. My Patreon in the ticker. CashApp 2 in the ticker. But please go check out Tug's locals as well. All right? Because his is super saturated with all kinds of topics and etc. So please go and check out his as well and support if you can. That would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, guys, again, hit that like button down below. All right, show some love if you can, show some support, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay, be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, it's time to get going, babies. I love all y'all. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It's been a great time, and I'll see you guys in a couple hours. I got a pop-up video or two that's going to be coming on a little bit later on today, so tune in, and yeah, we got some other stories to tell. So I will see you guys in the next video. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another, and I'll see you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.